Good afternoon, all. We'll wait for another 2 to 3 more minutes and then we'll start the session. So participants are joining, so we'll wait for another 2 to 3 more minutes. Hello. Ma'am, சொல்லுங்க ma'am.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to all. My voice is audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. It's okay. Today is day 3. Okay, so day 1 we discussed introduction to Python and fundamental of Pythons, and then running a Python programs also basics, and then we discuss some codes, basic coding also. Okay. So second day we discussed about data. So good data like data types and variables. So in the data type, we discussed numeric data type as well as string data type. Okay. So today we are going to discuss input and output statement. Okay. So every programming language have some function to get the input, and we have to display the particular string. We have to use output state. So here in Python, what function we are using for getting the input and displaying the outputs. So today class we are going to discuss input and output statement. Okay. So here in Python we are using the function input functions. Okay. So here this is the provides two inbuilt functions to read the input from the keyboard. Okay. So first function input functions, then raw input. Okay, so first input function is used in the latest versions, Python 3, like 3.5, 3.8. So now after 3 versions, they are using input. Next, raw input is used in the lower version, like a 2, Python 2 version. Okay, so the Python input function takes input from the users, then evaluates the expression and identically whether user entered a string or number or list. So Python, the input statements only automatically identify the which type of data the user entering. Okay, so here it's a code snippet for how you are going to get the value from the user. So first variable we are creating, and then input function. The input function double quotes, whatever you are entering the double quotes, it will be displayed. Okay, so first enter your value, like that we are typing in the code, then you print the particular variable. So here input statement, the input function or whatever you can say, no issues. So input statement, so getting the string value. Okay, so default in input function is taking a string value only. Okay, so whatever number you are also giving in the input function, the default value it should be a string. Okay, remember this is very important in Python. Okay, so whatever input you are giving, the default input function we are getting string. Okay, next, how this input functions works in Python. Okay, so first thing, the executing the program flow will be stopped until the user has a given input. Okay, so input function, so starting the executing, whether this function should get the text input from the keyboard or it going to print in the screen. It should be an optional. Okay, so the based on the input, actually the input functions convert into string. If you are entering integer value, still input functions convert into string. Okay, already I told this is the default input function is string. Okay, so you need to explicitly convert it to an integer in your code using typecasting. Already we discussed the previous class typecasting, or this typecasting also we discussed. Okay, so this is how the input function works in Python. Okay, so when executing a program, the flow will be stopped until the user has given input. Okay, so the user must give the input, then only the program will be go to the next stage. Okay, next you can check a input type in the Python. Okay, so first thing, that is a code snippet. So variable you are getting, enter a name, enter number, then you can print, and then you want to enter a name and then you want to print. Okay, so now I'm going to open the Python ideal window. Wait 1 second. Entire screen. Okay, so now I'm opening a Python ideal. Okay, so here I'm going to open a new file. Okay, so now I'm typing a equal to input bracket, enter the value. So next, now I'm printing this, print a. Next, b equal to input, enter the name. enter the name. Now I'm printing this b variable, print function, and then using b. So now I'm saving this file in Python 3.8 version. It's in it's in 1.py. Okay, extension is must. So then I save. Now I'm running this program. So enter the value 12. So and then again it printed. Enter the name. Enter the name Jack. So I printed. Okay. So getting the input and then print the inputs. Okay. So now I'm going to check what type of data the VA variable. So now I'm using again print of type A. So just I'm checking what input type I'm going to check. Enter the value 12, name movie. See, dimension string, but we given integer. Okay, already I told the input function default it take as a string. So that's why it shows the string here, but we are giving the input 12. Okay, so this is the difference in the Python. Okay, so next I will check type for b variable. Print of type of b. Okay, so just now I save this file and then now I'm going to run this. So 23 name ff like this. See, the both type it shows the string. Okay, so this is the input function, the default string. Okay, so that is the check the input type in the Python. Okay, next raw input. Okay, actually I told these functions is older version. This function takes exactly what is typed from the keyboard and convert it to string and then return it to the variable which you want to store. Okay, so the function name is raw input. Okay, raw underscore input. So now we are running the third version Python. So that is why we won't use this, but you have to know what is the previous version function. Okay, that's why I showed here raw input. Okay, so this functions is an older version only. Okay, okay. Next, taking input from console in Python. Okay, actually console window in the sense initially you open the ideal, no, that time one window is first appear. So that is the console window. Actually console window is basically like a command prompt. Okay, why we are saying command prompt, but the shell we are saying console is a shell. Okay, actually we are using the command line interrupter. Okay, so one command at a time and interrupts it. Okay, it will check line by line. Okay, it's a console, it's check the inputs from line by line. So console is a basically command line interrupter that takes the input from the users. Okay, for example, one command at a time and interrupts it. Okay, if it is error free, then it runs the command and gives the required output, otherwise shows the error message. So consoles window means this is the control console window. So see, this is the shell here, no, Python 3.3 is the shell. So this is the console window. Here I am typing 1 plus 2, 3 will come. Okay, so automatically it will interrupt. Okay, so that is why it's a console window for Python. Okay, the line by line we are interrupting the programs. So that's why we are using shell. Okay, so console is also called a shell window. Okay, so I showed now the screen. This is the console screen. Okay, here Python 3.6.4. Now we are using 3.8.4. Okay, so this is the console screen. Okay, so here we write a command and execute the command. Just press enter key. Okay, I now I executed. No, 2 plus 3. Just I enter. It's a 5 will be coming. Okay, so this is only for basics, basic purpose we are using. Okay, so this is the prompt of each line we are getting the interrupt. So that is why the primary prompt of the Python console is 3 greater than symbol. Like before slide we see the 3 greater than symbol. So this will shows means that window will be a shell window. Okay, next you are accepting the input from the console. Okay, so ideally we are done. No, the same function we are using the console also. So you can take a input from the user. It's a built-in function. So actually input function is a built-in function. So whatever input you want to take it in console, then it will be print in the console window itself. Okay, now we will see just one example. Console window. Now I am opening. This is the console window. So a equal to input of enter your name, the console window. So that is why I'm showing here. So console window. Okay, so now itself asking enter your name. So enter your name like that, like that. So it will interrupt each and every line it immediately. So that is why we are using the shell window in the Python. Okay, so we are accepting the input from the console. So like the code snippet, input one variable, and then you are getting the input function using the taking inputs. Okay, next you are going to take a multiple inputs from the user. Okay, so that's why in Python we are using two methods. One is split method, another one is list method. Okay, so in these two method we are going to see elaborately, because these two method only very important in the Python. Okay, so we are getting a multiple input from the user. That's why we are using two methods, using split method. Another one is using list comprehension method. Okay, actually this split method function, this function helps in getting the multiple input from the users, and it breaks the given input by the specified separator. Okay, separator in the sense like a comma, or you can use pipe symbol, whatever may be. If suppose you are not provided the separator, then it will automatically take it as a void space. Okay, so generally the users use the split method to split a Python string, but one can use it to take a multiple inputs. So multiple inputs we are using split method. Okay, so this is a syntax input function, and then dot we are using the split method. Inside the split method, two parameters, one is separator, another one is max split. Okay, so this is the split method. See here, this is a program to take a multiple input using split. Okay, so just I'm going to type file, new file. Okay, so I am typing a the x. Okay, a comma b equal to input input, enter a two values, enter a enter a two values. Enter a two values. Then we are going to split the method. Okay, that's why we are using this split method. This split method. Okay, so dot split. Then we are going to print the numbers. Okay, print the two values. Okay, that's why we are using print print number print number of boys, like that, or anything you can give, no issues. Then there's a A. Okay. Then you can put print the same number of girls. Okay. So next we use the variable b. So close this. Okay. And finally, I'm printing the whole values. Okay. So now I am saving this file into 2.py. Okay. So I am saving here, and then I am running this command program. So enter two values, 50. Okay, it's we have to give two values. So again, we are going to run this program. 50. Okay. So see, number of boys 50, number of girls 60. Okay. So you just taking an input two values and then splitting the two values. Okay, with the help of split method. Okay. Then now we are taking three inputs. Okay, it's the same thing. Okay, x, y, z. Previous we discussed only two variables. Now we are discussing three variables. Okay, so x, y, z. Okay, so this is a multiple input using split method. Okay, three inputs we are using. At a time taking two inputs at a time, in the sense, for example, now we discussed previously split method only you can give, then you can give next numbers. Okay, one by one it's be splitting. Here we are going to use at a time, we are going to taking the inputs, two inputs. Okay, so this is the code snippet. Okay, now I'm typing this code. Now I am enter two values, will be no problem. It's okay. Print first number, first number is curly braces, and second number second number is second number is same curly braces we are using, and then close the double quotes. Dot format, we are going to use format method. Then you can pass it in the parameter a comma e, comma. Then you can print the whole thing. So you can remove this, and then you can run this program. Just to save this first and then run. Okay, so invalid syntax, just delete this, no issues. First save here, and then you can run this module.
Sir, you have error in the second line,
Next,
sir. You missed a parenthesis.
yeah. Parenthesis in previous. Okay. Now it is okay. I think. Am I right? Format. Yeah, come on. Yes. Now it's okay. Okay. Now it's okay. So enter two values 20 and 25. Okay. So first number is 20 and second number is 25. Okay. So this is the multiple inputs or two inputs at a time, and then you can print in the same. Okay. So this is the taking it two inputs at a time. Next, this is the taking a multiple inputs at a time and typecasting. Okay, typecasting using the list function. Okay, so for example in class around 50 to 60 students are there. Okay, so you have to enter a name for all the students, then you are going to use these list functions. Okay, so how many students you are having the class, just you enter that value, and then that you have to enter the value, like enter the name whatever in the sense, and then you are going to split using the split method. You can split the values of the students. So this is the taking multiple inputs at a time and typecasting using list functions. Okay, next, list using list comprehensions. Okay, so actually list in the sense, for array also we are using. Okay, in all programming languages, the same here also, you are going to elegant way to define and create the list in Python. Okay, so mathematical statements one line only, like that. So for example, you are writing any list. See this example. Wait 1 second. Okay, so for example, in list, first biodata, like biodata you can take means first your name and then age and then DOB, like that you are going to getting the data. Okay, so this is a multiple data, so multiple inputs. Okay, so that time you are going to use this list. Okay, so list comprehension is an elegant way to define and create a list in Python. Okay, so this is the program. See, this is the syntax first. So syntax, so two variables is a common thing. X for X input, X for X in input is a common syntax. Okay, so enter the two value and then using the split method. Okay, so this is the syntax you have to remember for creating a list and storing the input in it. So x comma y, the two variable. Okay, and then x for x input is the syntax. Okay, don't confuse, this is a not a loop and all, this is a syntax for creating the list. So, okay, so this is the multiple inputs code snippet. Just now I'm using the window to get the inputs. Okay, so I've deleted this x comma y equal to, I'm using angle brackets. Okay, for array also we are using now the same thing here also, x for x, x for x in input. So we want to get the two inputs. Okay, so enter your first name, enter your first name and age. Okay, you can just take a two inputs and then you are going to split this with the split method. Okay, dot split. Okay, so how we are going to split in the sense using separator. Okay, I already told separator also we are using in the method, just for using comma, or you can use pipe symbol or whatever special character you are going to use this in the split method for separating the values. So now I am going to close this method. am closing this method. Then angle bracket also I close. Then print first x variable, print your first name, print your first name, okay, is x variable we are using. So then you can enter, then print your age, okay, print your age is, then double quotes and then comma y. Here also we can use this comma x. Okay, so now I'm going to save this file and then run this program. Okay, so enter your first name and age. Okay, so name Ajay and age 30. Okay, so what value shows? So age 30 is showing error now. Why? Because we are using split, it's a separator comma symbol. So we are going to, this is the list, no, so that is why we are using Ajay comma 30. So your first name is Ajay, your age is 30. Understand what is the difference between before we are discussed input function, that split method. Now this is the list. Okay, so that's why enter your first name and age. You are using your name comma age, then your first name is, your age is, like that you are printing. Okay, so this is the list. Okay, so multiple inputs in Python using the list comprehension. Okay, then it's a multiple inputs at a time. It's also same concepts we are discussed in the split method. Okay, so here also we are using the help of list. So list syntax you have to remember, int of x for x input. So this is the syntax, you don't forget. But in split method we don't use this type of syntax. Only split method only we used. But in list you are going to mention this syntax. Okay, x equal to int of x for x input, enter the multiple value dot split method. Okay, you just do it in your systems. Okay, this is also taking a multiple inputs at a time. Okay, otherwise I will do no issues, just I'm typing this, no problem. Okay, so just I deleted this. Okay, and then only x is enough. X for x input, x for x in, this is a syntax. Okay, you don't disturb that. Okay, next enter the multiple values. Enter the multiple values. Okay, and then separator is also must. If you are not separating, means default white space will be taken. So otherwise you can give separator, no issues. Okay, then print number of values, like that you can print number of values. Okay, so just you can, and then comma x, and close this. Okay, so taking a multiple inputs at a time, multiple inputs at a time. Okay, so just I save this and run. Okay, so I am giving 10 comma 20 comma 30 comma 40 comma, so you can take multiple inputs. So 50 comma 60, say 60 comma. Okay, so you can just enter. See, the list is prepared. So number of values 10, 20, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 50, 60. So this is the taking a multiple inputs at a time. Okay, it's the same compared to the arrays in the previous C language or C++ also. Okay, the same concepts here, but you are taking the list with the help of syntax. This is the important in the syntax list, X for X in. So this is the important syntax we are using in the list. Okay. Next, output. Okay, output function, everyone knows this is a print function we are using. Okay, initial class itself we started to use print function. Okay, print in the sense whatever your double quotes you are given, that should be printing. Okay, so output functions in this having some parameters. Okay, so you are passing some integer or string. Okay, so you are passing zero or more expressions. Okay, by separated by commas. Okay, so this is a simplest way to produce output in the Python. We are using print function. Okay, so this is the parameters we are used in the syntax print function. Okay, so first parameter it should be a value, and then next parameter separator SCP, and then end another parameter that's for slash n. New line we are printing in the output section. No, that's why we're using slash n, and then another parameter file, and then another parameter flush. Okay, so 5 parameters we are using in the print functions. Okay, so first value, any value as we like will be converted into the string before printed. Already we discussed, and separator also we discussed in the list we are using to specify the default actually white space. If you want to any separator, we are going to specify the separator, whether you want to comma or you want to use a pipe symbol, you can just specify in the separator. Okay, and then end, that is also one of the parameter what to print at the end, like end of the line, like default slash n we are using to display the new line. Okay, and then another parameter should be a file, that's an object with the write method, and then it's using for a default system.std out. So that is the one header file you are using in the Python. So this is a parameter that's also optional, and flush, that should be a boolean expression we are going to use in the parameter with the help. We have to use the for buffer the memory of the particular coding. Okay, so you can just use this flush also. Okay, and final return, everyone knows the function, every function should be having a return values. Okay, so it return value or expression. So this is the parameters we are using in the print functions. Okay, so 6 parameters: value, separator, end, file, flush, and returns. Okay, so one by one we discussed. First, string literals. Okay, so string literals, the Python print statements are primarily used to format or design how specific string appears when printed using the print function. Okay, so string literal slash n we are using to add a new blank line, and then double quotes or triple quotes or single quotes, whatever you are using, empty quote just for empty line. Okay, so this is the example print function. Geek for geek slash n is the best for DSA content. Okay, so slash n we are using means first geeks for geeks first printed, then is best for DSA content, it's printed in the second line. Okay, so this is the string literal. So string literal we are going to add a new blank line printing the another statements. Okay, next end statement. Okay, so end is keyword is used to specify the content that is to be printed at the end of the execution of the print function. Okay, so it's the same as a slash n, but we are going to print some end of the statement. You can type any characters like end equal to star star or end equal to ampersand ampersand. So you have to mention some statement in the end. You can use the end statement. Okay, so this is the second parameters we are used in the print function. Okay. Third one is flush. Okay. Actually, this is a another parameter they are used in the chunks. This the flush comes as an help user to decide if they need return content to be buffered or not. Okay, just for counting countdown start purpose we are using, because countdown start means first you can start, again you want to refresh means which not will happen, so again you have to restart. So like that we are using the one header file time. Okay, so import a time package, then we are going to run this program. Okay, so I will share the ppt in gcr, you can just note it this particular code and you can check. Okay, it come outputs. Okay, so import time count seconds 3 3 2 1, like that the count will be coming. Okay, after that it will be sleep. So this is for only we are using in the time purpose, for method we are using time dot sleep, or print function we are using starts. Okay, so this is the flush argument. Okay, next separator already we discussed. Separator in split method also we discussed. Now in a print method also we are discussing. Okay, so print functions can accept any number of positional arguments. Okay, so these arguments can be separated from each other using a separator. So these are the primarily used for formatting the multiple statements in a single print functions. Okay, so see b variable, so double quotes inside for. Okay, so print double quotes geeks and then comma we are using separator, we are passing the variable, then again double quotes, so the both string between for will be coming. So this is the separator parameter. So up to this we are covered input and output statement. Okay, so input we are using input function. In the input function we are taking a single input or multi-line input, we are going to use in the python functions. Then we are using output function, the output function, the print. Okay, print function we are using. So here they are having 6 parameters, so each we are assigning in the arguments. Okay, so now you can tell me what is the answer for this code. P equal to 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5. Okay, so what will be the output for this print using 1 is to minus 1? What is the output? Already we discussed in the previous class also. Okay, what will be the output? What will be the output? Anyone can try, just try whether it is correct or wrong, no issues. What will be the output? No idea. Just try whether you know the concepts or not. Just I'm asking, this is a basic only. No, already I told this line print p of 1 is minus 1, already I told.
So 3 4.
Yes, correct. Okay, 3 comma 4, because 1 is a starting index, so starting index you can starting index in the sense 0 1 2 3. Okay, so first index 2 will be here, the list we are using, so first 2 will be removed, and minus 1 5 will be removed. So minus 1 is the end of the index, so 1 is a starting index. Okay, so the answer is 3 comma 4. Okay, then what about this output? What will be the output of this code? A equal to double quotes passing p and then multiplied with 2. Okay, and outside multiplied with 3, and then b equal to same p, we are using double quotes asterisk 3 and outside asterisk 2. If we are printing this a equal to b, this condition is true or false or error or none of the above. What will be the output of this code? Just try, just to check this two variables, that's all. Just two variables. Say correct, no problem. Whether it's correct or wrong, no issues. Just you can try. What will be the output of this code? Any idea? Just to try. What will be the output?
So error.
No.
True.
It's a true. Yes, true. It's a true. Okay. So you can just type the code and the in the idle and check it out. It's a true. Okay. Why I'm saying it's true means, see, if you are, suppose here in P you are removed. Okay, you can put a two. Okay, it's automatically it will take 2 into 2 4, 4 into 3 12. Same 2 also here appearing 4 into, sorry, 4 into 2 8, 8 into 3 24. Here also I am applying 4 for P, 4 into 3 12, 12 into 2 24. So both A and B equal to, so A equal to B is equal, so it returns a true. So this is the output of the code is true. Okay, then what about this? Actually first string s1 s equal to Python is easy. Then s1 starting, not starting, s of minus 7, and then s2 s of minus 4. Okay, these two concatenation will be done, s1 plus s2. Okay, so what will be the output for this code? What will be the out of this code? Just try, no issues. What about this code output? Python is EC is a string. Okay, in that string you are going to split it s1 s2, and then we are using the index minus 7 and s of minus 4. Okay, so after that we are concatenating the two string s1 s2. What will be the output? What will be the output? Just try, no issues. Tell me, what is the output?
Sir, A.
Yes, correct. A only. Because minus 7, no. So reverse you can check. Okay. So EC, EC, Python is EC now. Y is a minus 1, S is a minus 2, A is a minus 3, E is a minus 4, and space minus 5, and S is minus 6, I is a minus 7. So is EC is a S1. Okay. Then S2 minus 4. So Y is minus 1, S is minus 2, A is a minus 3, E is a minus 4. So EC will print. So is EC EC. So this is the output of this code. Okay, understand, because minus 7 minus 4, so it comes to the reverse from the string. Okay, if it is 7 4 means it can come from the first, like Python Python. Okay, Python 6 and then 7 space, up to this will print, and then you can concatenate to 4 1 Python Pyth only will come. So Python Pyth, like that output will come. So this is the list explanation, list example. Okay, so this is the code we used. Okay, any doubts? What about this? What about this output? A equal to 3 and print of A plus double quotes 3. What will be the outputs?
6.
How? 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 Tell me. But wrong answer, wrong. But how?
Sir, option C.
Option C is also wrong.
Sir, option D, sir.
Option
D.
D. Yes, it's
Error.
error. Error. Error. Okay, error. Okay, because here we are passing double quotes in the three. Okay, so you this statement you won't do any operations and all. Okay, so it shows the error. Okay, A also won't come, B also won't come, C also won't come. Okay, so it shows the error. Okay, it's okay. Any doubts today's class? Today we discussed input function, output function. So input function, we passing the multiple inputs, and then we get the input, and then we print it. And output function also, we use output function, print function. In print function, we discussed 6 parameters, and then we are used in the example programs also. Okay. So any doubts?
No doubt, sir.
No doubts. Okay. So you can also practice already. Today also I shared some ebooks in the GCR. So you can just look it out. Okay. And then you can practice the programs. It's not enough for you. You can just practice. Just I handle the basics. You also practice, and then you can know about the programs, basic programs. Okay. Okay, students. Any doubts? Okay, no. Shall I wind up the class?